Legends, welcome back to the channel. John here in an undisclosed location to actually put my money where my mouth is, because take a look at this that's behind me. You might be looking and thinking that is a Proton Satria GTI that's had a few modifications. Well, actually, I'll educate you because it's not. It's on the V plate, and we'll talk about that in a minute because it is a Proton Compact GTI. But a few months ago, this car popped up for sale. It was advertised on a website, I think it's called Iconic Auction or something similar. And so many of you, and I mean loads of you, sent me links to this car. And at the time, I slagged it off. To be honest with you, I said, oh, that's not for me. Not in a nasty way, but in the fact that, as you know, and if you know me, I like my cars and I like my Protons as they left the dealership, to a point where they've got the original dealer number plates and dealer sticker. And if they've got the original keyring, well, that's a bonus. This one, as you can tell, just by looking at the fact that it's got a big hole in the grille where there's a massive intercooler, has had some modifications, but it's been done very well. The owner, Rich, has invited me to have a look at it. He said, John, come and put your money where your mouth is. It's got back to me that you've said bad things about my Proton that was for sale. And actually, now I've come to see it, I am eating my words and I have to share it with you. It was advertised for £10,000. And many of you will think, hang on a minute, 10 grand for a V-Reg Proton? They were nearly that when they were brand new. But by the end of this video, you will be, hopefully, of the same persuasion as me when you look at the work that's gone in it and the sheer quality of this car, that it's worth close to every penny. I'm under no illusion that this has cost double that to fabricate over the time, and we'll take a look at it in this video around this beautiful V-Reg Proton Compact GTI. So, like I said in the introduction, it is a Proton Compact. Actually, they came in around 99, 2000, 2001, and in 2001 they changed to the Satria name. They're basically, well, a Mitsubishi Colt underneath, and at the time they were about £15,000 on the road. They didn't sell overly well, to be honest with you, but they've got a bit of a cult following amongst the Proton lot. Now, like I said, when this came up for auction and I saw it was £10,000 for a modified Proton, I was a bit like, really? What's that all about? But now I've come to look at it and you will see it is absolutely immaculate. And the amount of engineering that's gone into this, well, it's not been done by a boy racer on his nan's driveway. It's been done properly by somebody that knows what they're doing and knows these cars. Rich has been a Proton fanatic for, well, 25 years, and he's had this one since 2005. You do the maths then. He's had this car 20 years. It's been in his possession for that long, and as you can see, it is a massive labour of love. We are sadly confined to the workshop today because, well, it's raining outside and I don't want to get it all dirty. And it's been off the road because he's been doing lots of other bits and pieces. But just look at it. It's absolutely amazing. And to think that when he bought it in 2005, it was stock standard. As it left the dealership, New Park Motors in Crewe, by the way, shout out to the Black Knight, it was as sold. And over time it's sort of evolved and he's done bits and pieces to it and made it, as you can see today. Not only does it look good, well, I can assure you it probably handles well. We'll take a look under the bonnet in a minute. Now, one of the things that I saw on this car when I saw the auction advert is the fact that it's got some unusual doors. Yes, it's got Lambo style gull wing doors. Take a look at this. Ready? And you might think that is bonkers. And again, if it had been done poorly, yeah, that would be, well, a bit naff. But take a look at the engineering behind it. You can see behind this wing, there's some specially fabricated plates and hydraulic mechanisms in there. That means it's done well right. And the fact that it's been done like that, in that way, means that it can be reversed if necessary. And that is one of the best things about this modification that Rich has done. Everything can be reversed. Literally everything. There's nothing on this that means it cannot be put back to stock standard. We'll take a proper look at the interior in a minute, but if I squeeze my way through here, past the Lambo style doors, you'll be able to see it from the front. And look at that. That is actually engineering brilliance. Each one of those brackets weighs 12 kilograms, he's told me, and he has worked out how to do it himself. People have tried to copy this on their GTI and ended up, well, absolutely cocking it up big time. He's done a great job in there. The only thing I would suggest that I don't necessarily like about this is the, well, massive grille bit, but it's an absolute necessity because look at the size of that intercooler in there. It is wearing still its original dealer plates, and if you know your Proton's GTIs, you'll know that this towing eye cover is, well, it's like the golden goose. They all go missing. Underneath the bonnet then, well, what's it got? We'll take a look. And honestly, when I first saw this, I was blown away. Oh, shout out to the Sun and the Star badge on the front as well, as opposed to the Roarer. Let's pop the bonnet and have a look under there, because that is where the magic is happening right now. Again, I promise we'll take a good old look in the interior in a minute. You won't be able to see it too well, but, well, check out these original GTI floor mats and these beautiful leather-clad Recaro seats. They've actually been retrimmed, probably at quite a cost by the owner. Now, as you know, if you've been following my Satria project, you'll know that I've had to repaint these door surrounds. Look at that, that is original to this car. Now, just because it's been cherished and loved within an inch of its life doesn't mean it hasn't been anywhere. No, the owner and his partner have spent so long taking this to car shows and doing events and actually using it. And that is one of the best things about this car as well, is, well, it's a used car. And there it is. I'm just going to shut up for a second just so you can enjoy what is under the engine bay there. There it is. You've got the Mitsubishi, well, actually Proton GTI engine under there, and look at this see-through cover on here. That is absolutely bonkers. But the people that own this are from the era of max power. They are from that world, and that is their thing. But they're doing it and have done it right. They know exactly what they're doing, and these red hoses versus the sort of polished stainless steel and all the aluminium and everything under there really is an absolute credit to them. Again, they know what they're doing. I've got absolutely no idea about the ins and outs under this bonnet, other than it's a 1.8 litre engine, and at some point it had a turbocharger fitted. The owner's now taken that off and done a proper stainless steel manifold system in here that he has built himself. Again, the custom parts on here he's done himself. Check out these hinges on the bonnet. Yeah, the bonnet prop has been deleted, but again, it can be put back. Look under that bonnet. Isn't it absolutely beautiful? But still, you can tell what it is underneath there. Isn't it insane? Absolutely fantastic. Now, because we're in a confined space and because the car has been sat, it is not in a position where I can start it up for you on the video, but I will assure you it sounds exactly as you can imagine. We'll go and have a look inside, and then we'll have a look in the boot, because there's some modifications there. You will have failed to have noticed that the battery box has been moved. It should be sat here, but it's been filtered. The air has been rerouted through this wheel arch and out, which actually, this area here on the Satrias and the Compact is where your airbox would have rerouted stuff out. So not too much different there. Honestly, it's an absolute credit to the owners, and I want to show you this paintwork. It is like glass. It's blown my mind. Would I like to own it? Yeah, absolutely. Am I devastated I didn't buy it at auction? Well, to be honest with you, I couldn't have justified £10,000 on a toy. But is it worth every penny? Well, we'll come to that at the end of this video. But I think you'll know what my answer is at this time. Squeeze through here. One thing I do want to show you is these wheels. It is the original Proton Compact / GTI wheels. You can see we've got the GTI centre caps there, and these black additions, to be honest with you, aren't to my taste. And if that's the case, and if it goes to auction again and the owner decides to actually sell it again, then well, you can peel these off, because these are just decals. Again, another piece of thoughtful engineering. Looks great, looks the part, isn't permanent. Big fan of that. So I've had to get rid of the super wide mode to show you inside here, because, well, the lighting in this garage is, as you can imagine, not fantastic, but covering 78,000 miles. Like I said, it's a used car. It's not a passenger princess. It's not a garage queen. Original GTI floor mats, and take a look at those. Those wonderful sort of aluminium / stainless steel style pedals. You've got the GTI door trim here, and this bolster is what fails all of them, and take a look at it. It's like new. Again, it's been retrimmed, so I don't think it's as it left the factory, but it's been done very well. Air conditioning, I can imagine, is absolutely fantastic on something like this, and you've got this wonderful silver carbon fibre effect on the dash, and around here you've got a sort of a stainless steel / polished knob, and this sort of studded effect round the gear gate. Everything just seems, well, a bit sporty. Oh, and by the way, check that out. The dash is totally different here to the normal, in inverted commas, GTIs that you see, being an early model, being the Compact. It hasn't got the sunglasses holder in there. Headlining, well, as you can imagine, like the rest of the car, is absolutely immaculate. And then let's take a look in the back, because that's when you start to notice, well, the rear seats are missing. There's the spare wheel well there, and there was sort of a rear strut brace in place. The owner has taken that off and put it away safe, but I think he's going to pop it back on the car. This here then is the battery. That's where the battery has been relocated to, because remember, the pipe work and everything from the intercooler has had to go somewhere, meaning that the battery has been relocated into there. But as a hot hatch 1.8 two-seater beast, this is an absolute fantastic place to be. Yes, it's got a DVD player in it and a kill switch. It's a bit pimp my ride in some places, but, well, without showing you too much, you can see, like I say, it's been done well. I'm going to pop the boot so we can have a look, and I'm going to show you these doors closing. It's literally a reverse of opening. They very carefully, and I'm being careful here, close and just shut as normal. Again, paintwork at the back like absolute glass. There's a bit of tinting to the back windows. I must admit, I'm not sure if they have been tinted. I would probably put money on the fact that they have. But at the back, everything looks as it should. You've got fog lights at the back that normally deteriorate and go missing. And at the moment, well, you haven't got a super duper exhaust because you've got a straight through looking thing there. I bet it sounds absolutely brilliant, but look at this trim around here. It's absolute perfection. And we're on gas struts, they're nice. They almost got away with me a bit there at the back. And we can have a look underneath here at the spare wheel in the boot there and the battery pack. Isn't it absolutely bonkers? It's a labour of love, this. And now I've seen it in the flesh, or the metal, I am absolutely eating my words. What a very nice thing. The video would be 40 minutes long if I went through list verbatim everything that Rich has done to this car in the past 20 years. However, he's agreed to talk to me on camera about his Proton Compact GTI. Let's have a chat with Rich, get the history of the car from him, and find out, well, what's happening with it next. Here it is, here's the man himself. Me. This is Rich. Hello, Rich.
How you doing, all right?
Yeah, I'm okay, and I must apologise to you for, well, saying naughty things on the internet about your Compact GTI.
No problem.
Thanks for inviting me to put my money where my mouth is and have a look. I've tried to cover as much as possible in my little walk around, but I think there's a few things I've got wrong.
Wow.
What is it I've got wrong, first of all?
Well, I originally had it supercharged, not turbocharged.
Okay.
And it had an intercooler on the front when that was the case. But since I took that out, it's now an air filter just to fill the void that was there. But otherwise, you got it pretty much spot on. The rest of it, I say.
It really has been a labour of love for you for the past 20 odd years. What got you into Protons to begin with?
When I was young, I first saw them come out and I always wanted one. So, well out of my reach, the price, I was too young. Insurance was a big thing for it as well. So when I got the opportunity, I decided, yeah, I'm going to get myself one of them. And like I say, it was stock when I had it. The clutch failed on it almost immediately. When I had it, it burnt out, I had to change it. And I thought, oh God, what have I done here? And then it went from there, really. It handles like nothing else you can get, even in stock form. So with a few modifications, it just makes it breathe better. Supercharger on it was ridiculous. It just pulled in fourth and fifth. It was just pulled but it came problematic, and it was just easy to go back to the standard form, and it's more fun like this. You can rev it more. You can get right up the rev range, and just have good fun with it. But
is that the reason that you took the supercharger off? Because actually, well, it was too much of a beast to handle. Yeah,
first, second, and third, it didn't really feel much different. It was all the torque in fourth and fifth. It had so much it would just pull. But I wanted it to be more revvy again, back at it like it was. So going back to as it is, with the breathing mods, exhaust and everything, it feels more drivable, back to closer to the stock form, but with a bit of the noise and all that kind of stuff as well. And I prefer it that way. I really do. So, but yeah, it's been many years. It's sat around for a long time. I've had other projects on the go. But I don't know what the future holds for it now.
Well, that was one of my next questions, because obviously I saw it at auction at Iconic Auctioneers, and I think we've had a chat about it off camera. The reason that it was up for 10 grand is because that was their lower limit.
A lot of people don't realise that with auctions. Yeah, that's how it works. I've sold a few cars with Iconic over the years. Shout out to Stacey Williams, by the way. She's brilliant.
She get a free plug there.
Yeah, she did. Yes, when you go with Iconic especially, if you put a car in for less than 10,000, it goes as no reserve, and I wasn't obviously willing to do that.
No.
So it had to go in. It wasn't technically valued at 10 to 12, but that's how it had to go in there for that. I would have taken less for it, but I don't think people knew that, unfortunately. And the price put people off.
And do you know what? I was one of those people, literally. Yeah. At a glance, I've seen the Lambo doors, and like I said to you off camera, I've looked and thought, well, that's a bit chavvy and naff. 10 grand, what's this person thinking?
Yeah.
But now I know the story. Now I know the fact that it had to be 10 grand because you didn't want to let it go for a song.
Right. Yeah.
And I don't blame you, to be honest with you. No, absolutely.
Yeah, if I would have put it in for less with no reserve, and someone would have bid 50 quid on it, that's it. It would have gone for 50 quid. I wouldn't have let it go for that.
No, of course not. No.
So and that would have been an issue. So
I'd have been a very happy bunny there, wouldn't I? If I was driving that home for 50 quid.
Yeah, that's the story. But it sat there, a nice spot in the auction. I mean, if people came to see it, I think they would have been trying to maybe buy it out of auction.
Yep.
That is a possibility. You can actually buy before the auction. It's rare, but it can happen. Or even negotiate afterwards is also another way of doing it. Not a lot of people know that as well.
So
they just think it's done.
What I'll do is I'll up my 50 quid, 60 quid. No. It's a rude question. I'm sure loads of people will probably be will probably be thinking it, but how much has this cost you over the 20 years to build something like this?
It's gone through so many changes. I mean, it had a full build in it as well. Subwoofers, amps, the whole 9 yards in the back. It's had numerous wheels, numerous exhaust systems. It's gone through so many bits and changes, new bonnets, boots, everything to get rid of all the rust parts. I couldn't even guess. I haven't kept tabs. I didn't want to keep tabs, to be honest. I would have stopped.
I should be in big trouble. No,
yeah.
If you had to put a rough estimate, is it over 10?
Oh,
is
well
it over
over
15? Is it?
Oh, it's over
20?
15. Yeah, it's over 15.
Yeah.
Well over 15, I would have said.
Yeah.
That's probably the point I stopped counting. I would have said, to be honest.
I think it's worth genuinely every single penny. We could sit and have a 5-hour video of you showing me everything that you've done on this car.
Yeah. The thing is that you can't see under it, and that's probably where the difference is for most other cars as well. There is no rot on this car. No. There is nothing at all wrong with it underneath. It is as clean as it looks on top. Is the same underneath.
It's an absolute credit to you. And as I found out with my Satria recently, it suffered with rot and suffered with this, that and the other. Is that what killed most of the GTIs?
Well, yeah, I think so. This one, I've had this garage since I've owned it. So, you know, it's been garaged for 20 years in numerous different garages or different properties. But it's always been kept dry. And that's the main thing.
Yeah.
And heated in the garage itself. So yeah,
that's what's caused it to survive.
UK weather, salt on the roads.
Yeah,
it's a car killer.
And actually,
it's simple.
I'm guessing at one point they were cheap and cheerful, and so boy racers spent 1,500, $2,000 on one and have killed them. And
potentially,
and then with that they've become worth more in parts. So then they've been stripped down.
That's right. Yeah. A lot of the classics these days, I've done it myself on other cars as well, where unfortunately the car couldn't be saved, but it fetched. I got double in parts to what I would have got when I bought it. So
it makes sense.
It's sad. It's sad, but it's reality, unfortunately.
Yeah, no, I can't argue with that.
It really is.
All I will say to you, Rich, is you know that I'm after now a very good Proton GTI.
Well, that's
so
right.
Keep your eye out. Hey, who knows? Maybe. I doubt Mrs. JC will let me drop 10 grand on this, but I'll be totally honest with you, and this is not just me saying this to you because you stood in front of me, Rich. I genuinely think it's worth every single penny of £10,000 of somebody's money. Thanks for having a chat with me, and thanks for inviting me to see it.
No problem.
When you invited me to come see it, did you think actually he's gonna eat his words, or did you think no, I'm still gonna be like, what, Lambo doors on a Proton? What are you on about?
I think anyone who sees it wants to see it in person. Yeah, you know, you have to see it in person. The camera can't pick it up. The photos can't pick it up.
No. And like you said, if we had a ramp in here, I could have a look underneath it and see just how clean it is underneath. But that's not going to happen today. Rich, thank you so much for inviting me and showing me about your car.
It's got a short shifter.
Has it?
Yes. You should sit and have a go.
Didn't spot that when I was in there. We've got the obligatory Proton beep. You've actually said, John, we can start it up. Rich, can you do me the honour of letting me hear her roar? Wowzer. It sounds punchy, but it's not antisocial, is it?
It's not too bad when you get it out on the street. If you're just cruising along, it's not bad at all, to be fair. But if you once you get to 100% throttle, you know about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my ears know about it here, but wonderful. Thanks for starting it up as well.
Yeah, no problem.
Well, there you have it then. Wow, what a car. Genuinely, and like I said to Rich, yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry I saw the Lambo doors and the modifications and went, that's a bit naff, isn't it? Because in the metal, it's an absolutely unbelievable machine. Would I buy it? Yeah, absolutely. Is Mrs. John Coupland going to let me? Who knows? Is Dad going to let me? No, absolutely not. But if I was in the market for a modified compact Satria GTI, this is the one I would buy. It's not been ragged to death, but actually it's been enjoyed and it's been done properly. What's the future for it? Will it come back up for sale? Well, at the moment, it's not for sale. Rich has decided that he's keeping it, and quite rightly so, after it failed to sell at auction. But like we explained, that's because he didn't want to let it go for 50p and a packet of quavers. Why would he? I don't blame him. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video. What do you reckon? What do you reckon it's worth? What do you reckon to the car? Standard? Yay? Or actually, this is a bit naff and boy racery, you shouldn't have done that to your GTI. Nay. Who knows? I have left my phone number with Rich and said, look, if you decide that you are going to sell it, let's talk. But shh, don't tell anyone at this stage. Till next time, have a great day. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and comment down below from an undisclosed location somewhere in the UK with probably my favourite Proton that I don't own. See you later. There are so many more Proton related videos on the channel, and I've actually selected a couple that I think you might like here on this page. Give them a click to watch them now. Don't forget to subscribe for more Proton fun and lots more videos coming soon.